Today we're exploring Bandelier National Monument in northern New Mexico. This is one of the coolest hidden gems in the entire state and one of my favorite places just outside of Sante Fe. But before we head to Bandelier, we're going to check into our hotel, explore the arts district, and show you some other great places in Sante Fe before heading there.
Hello. We are in Sante Fe in our very own casita. This is what these little rooms are called. Evidently, this one is 100 years old. It's very cute. They all have these little fireplaces, which is right here. We're gonna attempt to start a fire and we're just loving this. There's a kitchenette, cute little bathroom, sitting area. It's in this awesome little courtyard type area where our room is situated, and we are gonna have a great weekend in Sante Fe. We travel so much that we usually kind of just book chains, Comfort Inn, whatever else, like safe type hotels, but in Sante Fe we went with a little local boutique style hotel, and it's amazing. It's very close to the plaza, whereas the chains are kind of on the outskirts of town, and this is walkable to the plaza, all the art galleries, amazing restaurants, cafes, and it's so perfect, and we love it. It literally feels like we're in a different country. We are at this very famous and kind of world-renowned sanctuary chapel church thing called like the Chimayo Church. It's pretty renowned, it's holy, supposedly the dirt is healing, and it's a very sacred place for many religions.
A stop that everyone who comes to Sante Fe should do is El Santuario de Chimayo. This is a Roman Catholic church in Chimayo, New Mexico, just outside of Sante Fe. It's a shrine, a National Historic Landmark. It's a very famous church, and it dates all the way back to the early 1800s. And there are certain places and rooms here that you are not allowed to film in, so we don't have any footage from that, but make sure to thoroughly explore this place when you come. Although Chimayo was a slight detour from Sante Fe, it is definitely well worth it, but now we're going to make it to Bandelier, which is a 45-minute drive from Chimayo. Like most parks, the visitor center hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The park is open year-round, but there are sometimes seasonal closures because of conditions and also vandalism, which I'll touch on in a sec. You do need permits if you're going to do anything overnight here, and otherwise you can only be here 24 hours if you are camping in the Juniper Family Campground or the Ponderosa Group Campground. Now, the number one trail to do here is Alcove House, but it was closed while we were here, sadly, so the second best trail to do is the Pueblo Loop Trail, which actually follows some of the same trails, so we did get to see a handful of the Alcove House trail, so we were super stoked that we got to see it, and honestly, this trail has some of the best things that this park has to offer. And if you have an annual National Parks Pass, you can get in for free because it is a national monument. So as I mentioned earlier, the hike that Brie and I did was the Pueblo Loop Trail. All Trails has this hike at 1.4 miles, but we recorded just under 1.7 miles with about 170 feet of elevation gain. So it's a fairly easy hike, but you're definitely going to want to set aside a few hours for this because this is such a unique hike and the views along the whole way are incredible, and you're definitely going to want to take a ton of photos. As we continue to explore Bandelier and the Pueblo Loop Trail, the one regret I had is that I did not have my 360 camera with me. We left it in the hotel because, to be honest, I thought that this was going to be a pretty cool national monument, but I had no idea it was going to be this surreal and have such unique landscapes. It kind of felt like we were transported back to Cappadocia in Turkey. The landscapes are extremely similar to those in the deserts of Turkey. Now, we did visit Bandelier in January, actually last January in 2024, and one thing I want to note is that although all of the greenery was dead, There is a huge pro to coming at this time of year because we came in the middle of the day and the park was completely empty. We maybe saw 3 to 5 other groups on the trail, and we were on this trail for like maybe 3 hours. So I can only imagine that it gets that much more beautiful in the summer when all the wildlife is lush and green, but there is a pro and con to every time of year that you might visit. When you're hiking these trails in Bandelier, and really any trails in the outdoors, you have to make sure to practice leave no trace, because some of the trails close here because there's so much history in these cliff dwellings that if people come and vandalize these structures and these landscapes, they're closed, and then that ruins it for everyone. So please leave no trace when you're coming here. Some of the Pueblo structures here date between AD 1150 and 1600, so they've been preserved for a very long time, and we want to keep it that way.
So I believe this is the cave that's called Longhouse, and like the cliff dwelling. And we believe there are some petroglyphs in that one. We can't go in because there's not a ladder. Those are the only ones you're able to go in, but that's pretty neat.
So we just finished this trail. It is the main loop, which actually is where all of the cliff dwellings are. Alcove House seems to be the #1 most popular trail because it has all the really long ladders, but it's closed due to rockfall, and it's only one cliff dwelling. So actually this trail has been awesome. It looks like Cappadocia in Turkey, so amazing, underrated place. That spot exceeded all expectations. It was so cool. Even though Alcove House was closed, totally worth it. And it's, I think, only like 40 minutes from Santa Fe. So if you're staying in Santa Fe, definitely got to check it out. It's definitely worth going out of the way for. Very unique spot. And right now we're going to White Rocks Overlook, which is just like 20 minutes from the visitor center that we were just at. Not sure if it's technically in Bandelier, but it's right up in the same area. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up our time here at Bandelier. It's been incredible. It's been super fun and underrated place that you should definitely add to your bucket list. So check out some of the other New Mexico travel guides, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys later. If you've been on the channel before, you've definitely seen a handful of our other New Mexico vlogs, and this was our last stop on that road trip that we did a little bit over a year ago. And while we did film a ton of Bandelier and this day, we actually didn't vlog that much, but this place is truly incredible, and I would love to go back when Alcove House is open and explore more of the Santa Fe region and all of the hidden gems in this area. So anyways, check out those other videos from New Mexico if you haven't already seen them, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on another video.